Oh my goodness. I think I'm here. Am I here? If you can hear me or see me, please say something in the chat. Let me know. Good golly. Every single time I have tried to get on this lately, it's been crazy. So anyways, hello. Welcome to Tipsy Tuesday. How is everyone today? If this is your first time here on Tipsy Tuesday Mastermind, this is a 30-minute mastermind that we do at 10 a.m. Mountain Standard Time, 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, every Tuesday for 30 minutes. So I either have guests on or I share some things that I have learned. And today I am super duper duper excited to share with you what I have as far as the psychology basically behind recruiting and talking to people and building rapport. No matter what business you're in, you need to be building rapport, and you need to know a little bit of psychology in order to build that rapport fast and have people understand so that you can lead them in the direction that you want to, so that you can help the people. You know, there's a lot of people out there who need help. They just need to be pointed in the right direction of the help. And of course, this industry sometimes gets a bad rap. So we want to make sure that, you know, we're coming about it correctly and sharing our information the way we want to share it so that we can do the best to help the people who we're talking to. So I'm going to share my screen with you, and we're going to go over some rapport building. We're going to be going over some questions to ask, some questions to kind of wait for a little bit longer, because if you ask these questions too soon, you can actually kill the deal before you even step into getting into the deal. So I want to share with you those questions that I know I made the mistake of asking these questions so many times. So I want to make sure that I share that with you so that you don't make that mistake. And then also we're going to get into some undeniable needs. This is the psychology behind the recruiting. This is the psychology that, you know, we all need to know a little bit of psychology in order to be able to influence and become a leader and understand how the human brain works so that we can work with it. So I'm going to share my screen real fast. Hopefully we can all see. Okay. Let me just double check real fast. This whole live thing is crazy sometimes. So here we go. This is what we just talked about. We're gonna be going over building rapport fast, questions to ask and questions not to ask, and the psychology behind conversations. Now this psychology is not only behind conversations, but you can also use this psychology when you are writing to your newsletter, or you're writing a blog post, or a sales letter, or an article, anything like that. You can use this psychology to also help you in the sales through text, which is awesome. Okay, so building rapport. I mainly am focused on Facebook marketing. So this is when I said make a friend, I'm basically talking about Facebook marketing. So when you are coming along to your first interaction with someone, you know, let's say you see them in a group or whatever, however you are making that friend, a friend of a friend, when you first go over to talk to them, just make sure that your first encounter is all about just making friends and building that bond. And through building that bond, the easiest way to build that bond is to find something in common. So take the time to actually look at someone's timeline. It's very important. Go through and look at things, like things, comment on things that you like. This shows them that you actually took the time to find out who they were, just by liking and commenting. And then you can go over and you can start that conversation. If you can't find anything on their timeline, maybe look at where they're from. But my personal advice is, if you truly can't find anything in common with someone and it's just kind of a blank slate when you go over to their timeline, maybe not friend them. Maybe it's not someone that you can connect with. When building a business, a six-figure income like you want to have, like you desire to have, that's something that you have to build. And if you're going to be building these relationships and these bonds with people, you want to make sure this is someone that you can work with for a lifetime. These are going to be your business partners. So if there's, if you really can't find anything and you feel like you're pulling teeth with somebody as far as conversations go on Facebook, then, I say just walk away, because there's a ton of people out there and there's really no need to be constantly trying to pull teeth and trying to get someone to go in the direction that you want them to go in. Because if you're going to be building that bond, usually it's something that you can build, naturally, because that's, as humans, we naturally are attracted to people who are like us. So that's one little thing, find something in common on their timeline and comment, go over, say something to them about whatever it is that you found in common. If they like dogs and you like dogs, whatever, just start talking about that. And then Meereen, this is something that's usually done face-to-face. If you've heard of it before, I'm sure you've heard of, if someone crosses their legs, you cross your legs. If someone's playing with their hair, then you kind of play with your hair and you just mimic them so that they feel like there's a connection. Well, considering that most of our businesses are going to the online marketing, we do a lot of business through Messenger. I still definitely say get them on the phone. That is the most key thing, is getting them on the phone. But you can do this mirroring while talking conversations on Facebook. So let's say that if someone's writing long, lengthy paragraphs to you, go ahead and write long, lengthy paragraphs back. If someone is cussing during the conversation, cuss. If they're not, don't. But this is just easy ways for you to be able to mimic and mirror them so that they feel a connection to you immediately. Make them laugh. I'm huge on this because I think that laughter is so important. So if you can make them laugh, it's something that's going to leave a mark. If you can make them feel anything, you're going to leave a mark, which is building rapport and building that bond. Sharing you, this is something that a lot of people tend to shy away from because, one, we're told, it's not about you, it's about them, leave your ego at the door. You hear all this stuff, which is true. It is true, but there's a certain part that you have to share. People want to know that you've been down the road of struggles. If they're talking about a struggle that they're having, just share your struggle. We all have been through struggles until we found the thing that we are working on. That's what made the difference for us. So sharing your story, sharing who you are, will make them connect with you faster. And then ask lots of questions. People love to talk about themselves. If they have kids, for me, I'm a stay-at-home mom, so children and stuff like that is very easy for me to talk about. So, if they have kids, I tend to talk about it. Ask them, if their kid is 13, then I ask them wow, how is that? Because my son's only 7 right now, so I don't know how it's going to be when he's 13. So, tell me a story. How is it? And so just definitely ask questions. Once again, going back to making a friend on Facebook, if you're asking them questions and they're constantly coming back with yes, no, 13, just move on. You really are just wasting your time with somebody like that, because like I said before, put yourself into the future. if you're pulling teeth to get this person to have a conversation with you right now, they, one, obviously do not understand how to build a network marketing business because it is all about relationships. So there's going to be a lot of training that you have to put them through. Not saying that you can't, not saying that that person's not, somebody who you can look forward to having on your team at some point, but maybe just not right now. Just don't waste your time. Just kind of move on. Let them. Your timeline on Facebook can tell your story. Your timeline can do the selling for you. Next Tipsy Tuesday, I'm going to be going over timelines and how to make sure that your timeline's showing that you're a professional and not constantly spamming. So you can register for that at tipsytuesdaymastermind.net. That's next Tuesday. We're going to be going over that. So we won't be talking a lot about it today. But just know that, if they're not answering, if they're not engaging with you, then just let them watch you. Let your timeline do what it's supposed to do with those people, because eventually they'll come around and, ask you, because it's all about attraction marketing. So they'll come around and ask you. And then just a couple rules of thumb. If it annoys you, don't do it. So if someone comes over to you and says, hey, I see we have a lot of friends in common. You should check out my blah, 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 and sends you a spammy link, and you get annoyed, just make a mental note of that and don't do that, because we tend to gravitate back to what we're told from the beginning, and that's just share the link and people will start signing up. Just be aware of the conversations. When you're in a conversation with someone on Facebook or anywhere, just really read their answers, really read what they have to say, and it will tell you your next move. I promise. Just read the words that they wrote. Don't just skim over it and then, go back to, oh yeah, by the way, me. You got to actually read and understand what they're coming across. So, if someone comes across and says something to you and you're just like, oh gosh, make a mental note of that and make sure that you're not turning around and doing that to someone else, because the same thing's going to happen. And then no pickup lines. If you use a script and a script works for you, that's great. Keep using it. I'm not saying anything about scripts or anything like that, but if you are using a script and it's not working for you, just stop with some of the pickup lines. Like there's the pickup line, one of my favorite pickup lines is like-minded. I see we're like-minded. Because I'm positive, because I go, to network marketing events, like that's just, it's so generic and so overused that it's just become a pickup line now. It may have worked, 6 months ago, a year ago, whatever, but it's turned into just pickup lines, and you'll see them as you have conversations with people. You'll see the pickup lines, and you'll just pay attention to them because you get them a lot. So pay attention to the pickup lines and then try to keep them out of your conversations, and that'll build the rapport for you a lot faster. So questions to ask. What do you do? This is if they have an out-of-home job. So if they're working their business or they don't have a home business yet, you can ask them what they do. And this one, hold on. Okay, so after you ask them what they do and they tell you what they do, at this point you can say, oh, are you one of the lucky ones that love your job? Do you see what you're doing here? One, if they do love their job, not to aggressively go about your business, But if they don't love their job, you're putting them in a state of mind that they're thinking about how much they don't like their job. You're bringing up that pain for them just through that one question. You seeing that? I hope so. I can't see the chat. I hope you guys can see my screen and everything. It's really kind of hard when I don't have my co-host. So that's what you do. You just are you one of the lucky ones that love your job? At that point, they will let you know whether they love their job or not, because there are people out there who love their jobs and they just want an extra $500 a month, or they want something to do, or they just like learning, you know, whatever it is. You have to find that, because not everybody is going to want to join your business and want to go full-time or whatever. So you have to know what they want and fill those wants. Another one, how long have you been in the industry? Are you building full-time or part-time? This is another one. It's going to tell you whether they want, you know, whether they're just doing it for a little extra money or whatever. And then this one as well. Do you want to earn full-time income, or are you just wanting free product? This is going to tell you right away whether they're a customer or they're going to be building their business. I mean, of course, you can get someone in through the free products or whatever your company offers, and then later on they could see how much money they can make and transfer over. But from the beginning, you don't want to go up to someone and say, hey, this is what you want to do. You want to go full-time. You can't do that, because nobody likes to be told what to do. They want to be led in the direction. So these questions will help you lead them into the direction. Okay, so questions you want to wait on. What do you do? Okay, so if you go over to someone's timeline and you see that they're a network marketer and it's plastered all over their timeline, and you ask, what do you do? They're going to know you didn't look at their timeline, and you're going to annoy them. If they work full time and they have it written on their timeline what they do, the same thing. They're going to be like, go over and look at my timeline. You know, you want to be my friend, you want to talk to me, pay attention. Every human wants people to pay attention to them. So just pay attention. And then, how is your business going? You ask this too soon and the deal is done. This question, how is your business going, can be taken in many different ways. For me, this was one of the questions that I definitely had a situation with. I did this a lot because I thought that I was trying to find the pain. And if you ask, how's your business going, and it's not going well, I'm one of those people who like to tell the truth. So I thought people would just tell the truth. And that's not the case. How is your business going gives them an opportunity to pitch you. And of course, they're going to say their business is going great. They want you on their team if they're in network marketing. Now, I work with a lot of people who are in network marketing. I actually, got to a point where I was talking to so many network marketers that I wanted to find a way to help them as well. So I get to work with a lot of already network marketers and help them with blogging and getting leads and things like that. So that was definitely a question that, I had problems with. But even if you're only recruiting for your primary company and you're running into network marketers, this is also a question that you could be asking, because, if their business isn't going well, then you can, do your little roundabout and let them know about your business. But if you ask this too early and you don't know that you already have the influence, the know-how over them, then this question can just kill you right off the bat, because once someone's in pitch mode, it's done. There's no turning that around. Do you have a daily mode of operation? This again is something that you need to make sure that you are more qualified than them before you ask this question. Do you have a blog? You got to make sure it's something that they want to do. Of course, everybody needs to have a blog. Everybody needs to be creating content. If you want to make this a full-time income, you are going to need to be creating content. You're going to need to have a home that, you know, is your blog, where once they get there, that's all that's there, versus, you know, social media allows you to go this way, that way, and the above. Wow, I'm running behind on time, so let me get through this real fast for you guys. So just make sure, you know, once again, that you are waiting on that question. Are you happy with the amount of money you make? Definitely make sure that you are more qualified than them before you start asking this question. First of all, I disagree with asking people how much money they make, because it's really none of your business. You wouldn't walk into your doctor's office and be like, hey, thinking about becoming a doctor, how much does this pay? It's just not something that you would ask in normal life. So don't ask on Facebook or on social media. You got to treat it like it's a one-on-one, because this is how we communicate now. It wasn't like that when I grew up, but that's how we communicate now, and that's the way the life's going. So let's go get into the psychology part of this. Okay, so like I said from the beginning, these are undeniable human needs. All human beings have a certain amount of needs that we need to be met. You know, your husband can meet them, your children can meet them, your parents can meet them, you know, people in your life can meet these needs, but there are a lot of people out there who don't get any of these needs met. So knowing these undeniable human needs and being able to meet them for people is absolutely a way into the subconscious mind, which actually makes 85 or 95% of the buying decisions. So you want to make sure that you're tapping into that part of it. And you can use this in your conversations on social media. You can use this in your blogs. You can use this in anything that you do. You can, you know, if you're taking notes, paste this up into your desk area and make sure that every time you're talking to someone or you're writing content, that you're bringing in at least a few of these things into your writing, into your conversation. So the first one is ease their pain. Humans do more to avoid pain than to seek pleasure. It's kind of a sad fact, right? But it's true. I mean, why do you think the pharmaceutical companies are so big? Because we want to avoid pain. If we can take a pill to avoid any kind of pain or anything that doesn't go our way, that's what we want, versus, you know, seeking a better way or something that helps us. We tend to gravitate towards just avoiding it altogether. So make sure you're easing their pain, whatever it is that you got. Know your target market and their pains. This is very important. Once you understand your target market and their pains, if you're in, you know, health and wellness and you're targeting, you know, weight loss or focus or whatever, just make sure that you know that target market and what are their pains. If you're doing, like, you know, something as far as focus goes, you know, you got to start thinking about what is their pain. Their pain is the fact that they can't seem to be concentrated on anything. They've tried energy drinks, they've tried all this different stuff, and they can't seem to focus. So you need to start going around and about how you're going to help them ease that pain. Encourage their dreams. Project them into the future. If you can, project them into the future with your product. You got to sell the emotion. So, you know, if someone's like, yeah, I've always dreamt of bringing my kid to Disneyland, and you're in travel, then, you know, you start projecting them into the future at Disneyland with their children, and how exciting that's going to be for their kids. And, you know, so you're selling the emotion. It's like, It's like the Corona commercials. I'm sure right now, as soon as I said Corona, the first thing you thought of was beach. You saw this chair on the beach, because that is what Corona is selling. It's not selling the actual beer. It's selling you on the beach, toes in the sand, hanging out, relaxing, enjoying yourself. And you might as well have a Corona. So do you see how that works? You know, same thing with the Ferrari. You know, you got the hot babe in the Ferrari, and woo, you're driving around. Well, guess what? If you get that Ferrari, you'll get that hot babe. So I hope that makes a little bit of sense. I'll come back and see if there's any questions too. Validate their thoughts and concerns and feelings. If someone has concerns, validate them. Don't say, well, that shouldn't be a concern of you with my company because my company is different and blah, 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 blah. No. They have that concern because they've experienced something along the way. You know, take a little bit of heart into it and validate that. We've all been through struggles. We've all had our concerns, and you can't fight those. You got to validate them. Make them feel like they are right. Make them feel like they are understood. An example is like the pyramid scheme. You know, I've been down this road and there's pyramid schemes everywhere and da 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 da. You know, I mean, we've all heard it. And you just agree with them. They're right. It's true. You know it's true. Not all of them are pyramid schemes. I mean, if you want to look at it, there's pyramid scheme in every business, but if that's, you know, the way you're looking, there's always someone on top and there's always people on the bottom. But if someone is saying this, you just say, you're right. There is a lot of crap out there, which gives you the influence of you've been down the road. You've seen it before. Heck, if you have a story that you were actually in one at one point, you know, something that fell apart or something, share that story. Just like we talked before, share you. This is a great time for you to share you, but just validate their concerns and feelings. All right, I gotta rush through the rest of this. So we're not gonna get through all 12 undeniable needs, but I have a place that you can find them. So engage and capture their attention. You gotta make sure that you're capturing them. Their social media and the online world is so busy that we tend to not be able to focus. So you got to be able to capture their information. Great way, you know, make the conversation about them, make them laugh, make them feel loved. You know, all of these things will start capturing their attention to you. And then they're going to come over and they're going to look at your timeline and, you know, kind of start feeling you out and see who you are. Make them feel loved. So, you know, like going back to the Disney thing, you know, if it's something that they dream of to take their kids to Disneyland, then you can always be like, oh my gosh, can you imagine when, you know, you take your kids to Disneyland? They're going to be so happy. They're going to run up and hug you. They're going to be thrilled and just love you to death. It's going to be amazing. And then give them a sense of hope. The network marketing business is a very amazing industry, and you have the chance to change lives here. Okay, so the power and the things that I've gone over today is just like a little bit of a topping to all the stuff that you can do. But giving someone a sense of hope is something that is a lost art. And just know that in this industry, you have the power to change people's lives. You truly do. So just be careful with that power. You know, don't just take it and hand it off to people who don't need it. If there's somebody that someone else can help better than you can, show them that way. The universe will repay you, I promise. But don't lead people in a direction, you know, a sense of hope, and then not have what you need for them. Make sure that you're in this for the right reasons, and the rest falls into place. So that's 6 of the 12 undeniable needs. Don't have time to go through all of them today, but if you want more on the undeniable needs, you can always go to samanthaswall.com/copywriting mastery. There's a nice, awesome psychology training in there that you'll love. And if you're watching this as a replay, you can click the link below as well. Ooh, the slides weren't very clear. Sorry about that. I'll have to go back through and look and see. So I hope you guys all enjoyed that. I hope this helps you, get into more of the psychology part of it. I love the psychology part of it. I love the tapping into the subconscious mind through storytelling, and there's all sorts of cool stuff that you can learn about, personality types, all sorts of things that can help you build that with people and really, get your business to where you want it to be, to where it's fun. It's not just, if I get 5 people underneath me, it doesn't work like that. If you get 5 people underneath you and you're not the leader and you're not doing the things that you need to be doing, you're going to lose those 5 people. I'm going to be straight up honest with you. It's the way it works. So learning the marketing, learning the psychology, learning how to go about communicating with people is so important to the success of your business. So I hope you guys enjoyed that. If you did, please like, comment, share. And if you want more information, like I have that storytelling as well. I'll leave that link down there too, so you can get the more information on the 12 undeniable needs and that awesome training, and also a training on storytelling, which it's pretty cool too. So I hope you guys have a wonderful Tuesday, and remember, stay tipsy. Next week, timelines, Facebook timelines that will sell. So make sure to register. TipsyTuesdayMastermind.net will get you registered for next week, and we will be going over all of that good stuff. So I hope you guys have a wonderful Tuesday. Bye for now.